This is a story of my grandfather that he told us that day before he passed away. One day, they ran out of food stock, so my grandfather ended up decided to buy a food in the market. Before that, we can say that the life during my grandfather epoch was a bit difficult because there is no road, plus no one owned any car that time. So my grandfather forced himself to walk in the woods for a shortcut way to the market. He went to the market early in the morning at Thursday. Once he got there, he saw many of his friends went there as well to bought their things. My grandfather bought what was needed before he invited his friend to one of the market and hold a conversation there. One of the friends bought some beer. Time went by and finally they realized that it was already 6 p.m. after a long conversation. So they ended their conversation there and went back to their own home. When my grandfather went through the graveyard, he looked into the graveyard while walking without realizing he fell down because he slipped into the mud in front of him. He picked up his stuff and continued his journey on the way home. After a few minutes later, he shocked because he went back at the same road where he slipped into the mud back then. He felt uneasy. His fear began to envelop his feelings. He said that he don't even drink that time. My grandfather ignored what was happened and kept on walking in fear. After a few minutes later, he went through the same road again. That time he began to pale with terror. My grandfather thought that there must be something wrong on what was going on. He took a deep breath to calm his mind. Suddenly, he realized that he had carried something bad in his bag, and it was a fresh meat that he had just bought from the market. Then he took one of the meat and threw it towards the graveyard. After that, he continued his journey again and finally he got home safely. About what was happened, my grandfather really did being hypnotized by the demon who awaits to be given and wanted a taste of blood from that meat. According to our beliefs, if you don't give the demon some of the meat that you brought while you are on the way to nowhere, especially at night, and when you went through a strange situation, then you might be trapped at that place until dawn comes.